Dave Parody here with another Slide Makeover video podcast based on the ideas in my book, The Visual Slide Revolution. Today's slide comes to us from a set of slides that I was sent in preparation for a workshop that I did recently. The organization has thousands and thousands of customers, and one of the areas they need to deal with is customer service. So in their presentation, this was one of the slides that they showed, and it was really talking about some research that's been done in the area of customer service, and it talks about generally that what we see in customer service is actually only a fraction of what really we need to be paying attention to, because many customers will not talk to us about the problems that they have with our organization, with our service. There are a number of different areas here to address, and I split this up into multiple slides. What I want to focus on today's makeover is this particular item here, where it says for every customer who complains, 26 other customers remain silent. That's a very important statistic and very important idea for customer service people to keep in mind. How do we show it more visually? Well, one of the things that I thought of is an analogy, and it's what I want to show you in the slide makeover today. So let me show you how I redesigned the slide and how it would be presented. You know, folks, when we're talking about customer service and the customers that complain, really it's very similar to the phrase that you hear, the tip of an iceberg. You've heard that phrase because, like this illustration shows, what we see above the water is really just the tip of the iceberg. Most of the iceberg is actually below the water. And it's very similar to when we hear customers complain, because for every one customer who actually calls us and complains, there are 26 customers who remain silent, who don't complain for a variety of reasons, but we don't know about them. We don't see them or hear them. So it's really important that when a customer complains, we realize it is only the tip of the iceberg. We have to dig deeper. We have to find out what is causing that issue so that we can address it so these other 26 people will not be dissatisfied. So you see what we did here. So we used an analogy that illustrated for us and helped us illustrate to our audience what the real impact is of this particular issue, and far better than simply a single bullet point. So, some lessons when we are using analogy. First, show the analogy instead of just talking about it if you can. In this case, I drew that picture of the iceberg and the water to show this is what it looks like, and then explain the analogy. Why do you have to explain it? Because some people may not be familiar with the analogy. Not everyone has heard why we use the phrase tip of an iceberg. Some may not have even heard that phrase, tip of an iceberg, but we have to explain it. Because you are presenting to more and more diverse audiences, not everybody comes from the same background, has heard the same phrases, or is familiar with the same analogies. Make sure you explain the analogy first so that people understand the context of it. Then show how your point fits the analogy. So what I did is I overlaid on top of that illustration the photo of an irate customer, and then the 26 people who are silent, who are similar to below the water. They're not complaining. We don't see them. So the last thing you need to do is to make sure you reinforce how the analogy fits your point. And that's really how you say it. So I talked through why this analogy was appropriate for what we were talking about and how it fits the point, the issue that we wanted to discuss, and how important it is that when a customer complains, we realize we need to dig deeper and find that underlying issue. Analogies are great. I think they're really illustrative for a lot of the points that we make. Just keep these ideas in mind when you're using analogies. For more information on my book, go to www.visualsliderevolution.com. For more information on the training workshops that I do, the consulting videos, and other resources, go to my main website at www.ThinkOutsideTheSlide.com. Again, this is Dave Parody with another Slide Makeover video podcast.